a nuisance for them so far, but there is a second layer as well. That looked dead on, but it didn't land.
He mustn't have been fully planted, his feet on the ground at that point. Yudotan in danger as King steps through the utility, finds himself one, but it starts to crumble. The numbers right back to level. Spikes in so slow and patient. Maybe a little bit too slow. Now the lockdown comes into play. He'll have to challenge this very early indeed.
So GE versus Leviathan, the Pacific 3 against the Americas 2. Now it is 2-7 already as we start the stream. Oh, Batman gets one! But Spike and Leeds only need one! It's a 1v1 clutch moment. Crystal versus Blues. He's holding the Spike. Let's go, Crystal!
Crystal once again. They're not going to allow their opponents to bring this back to 5. As he'll take it 8-2.
It was a tough start to this map for Crystal.
I have seen more than too much of people underestimating GE. Underestimating GE fucking rolls. Remember, they were one step to the finals against PRX in Pacific. So why underestimate GE because they fall all the way to Pacific 3rd? No, that is not your reason. You are us as a broadcaster for thinking like this.
Oh, contact play, but look, GE, we spoke about this, the Death spoke about it. It is the team with the set plays versus the team with the counters. They're just waiting it out, but Neon doesn't go anywhere. He keeps that space. Yudotan gone. And a man advantage for Leviathan once again.
A much more passive stance as well. Right afterwards, King's being spotted, immediately just falls back. Looking for that contact, but you've only seen one player. It's not going to get the rotates out of you just yet. GE close in the distance. Prowler, he'll draw the rotate.
Ooh, Patman! Even in this!
Nice shot from Patman. Great
oh my god.
well. Followed up, that's utility.
They only dropped one Yudotan though.
And it's 3v4 retake, but the numbers
oh,
equalized here, but the
Autumn gets one. Casino one in mid. Yes, Neon takes him down, but it was a clone. I think he's saving his operator. He still has the auto when we look at his utilities.
No way he was ever getting back into that round. And again, you just see some of the individual brilliance and flair from these GE players. It's something that I love the fact that we're hearing it from Patman himself in those interviews, that when you go back to some of the moments in the last team, he had to be more supplementary in Paperex. He had to help others. He had to almost be the safety net to what is the manic craziness. Now in this team, he can be more aggressive. He can take more space. He can almost be that superstar when they need him. And this round, it was just him walking in, hitting a crazy shot and getting the opener into the side.
Can they take the... Oh!
That's what we expect to see. Unfortunately, too late in the round, and he won't be
what are they seeing from Neon? That was a fucking dun bluff that he hit over here in that moment.
Back up, whereas that operator, okay, there's a tour de force, but it won't be an operator alongside it.
At least a tour de force and a rifle drop to a teammate. It's something, but a silver lining on a very gray cloud at the moment. One round left to play, and double digits possible for GE at the halftime. Leviathan certainly come in here with a high bar. After that performance in Americas, they could be coming out as #1.
They very nearly did.
A pistol round could have swung it, but now it seems like they've fallen so far behind what seemed to be playoffs that they were destined for.
GE rising to the occasion. No doubt about that. Neon already forced back.
You are divided.
It definitely seems like they have caused him a lot of issues throughout this game, not just able to sit on these aggressive angles and find players.
Sato, but he was treated away. I know, I realized a thing. Oh, that was a flash to Neon, but the wall. Oh, he hit the feet. Neon. Yudotan is still rushing. Yudotan is playing so aggressive this match, and he did make Neon low. Actually, he did not. 72 health. Neon, they are playing too aggressive. GE, you are trying to copy. Paperex.
This round will be claimed by Leviathan, but they are still very, very far behind.
Oh, there is a lot of work to do when it comes to the second half, but we saw some sparks towards the end of this one, some decent rounds from Leviathan. But GE with a big lead at halftime. We'll see if Leviathan can bounce back after the break. He's hunting down that title!
The time to write the next chapter in the esports history books is finally here.
And they fold it in his hands yet again! Steps up to the plate! And he
Look at these predictions for the toss. Will anyone from Global Esports react in frustration on camera in the next 3 rounds? To be honest, when we look at the entire game of Leviathan versus Global Esports, we could see how GE and how Leviathan is playing. And now they switch sides. GE is defending, and if they still continue to play on how they did in Attackers, where they play really aggressive and not waste well from Yudotan and Savik, they would, I promise you, they would show frustrations unless their guns are too hard enough to kill everyone from Leviathan. That is the only situations where they would not show frustration on camera in the next 3 rounds. Will there be a flawless in second half? Let me tell you clear enough, yes. The score now is 93. The one situation that would not happen is GE wins all of the match, all of the rounds after this, which is 4. But the other situations that I am currently predicting is Leviathan would try to show their relentless, would kill, and will be able to stand back up against GE. We could see that Leviathan from a Vct Americas, one of the highest rated regions here in VCT, they were able to fight, they were able to place at second. It was already an incredible achievement from GE, from Leviathan. So we know how good they are and how much they are able to walk, how much they are able to come back in this second half. So now the predictions are clear. Let's watch into the second half.
Expectation on the other side for them to have picked it. So it might not be a death sentence, it's just worrying because you're basically going to be seeing the first officials of those 2 teams making their changes in the next, and if they've got it wrong, that could be a huge problem. For now, at least, though, a pistol round a necessity, and the defensive side very, very proactive. Of course, there is a trap.
Look at what I said. If they still continue to play on how they did in Attackers, they are aggressive enough to push all the way here to CT, to their base.
Teammates can arrive.
Utility blocking off R. It's only going to be a nano, and I don't think Spike Scene could get straight through it, but it won't buy that much time. A grab well to delay a little bit longer as the flank comes in, but take a look at the position of King here. Realizing they've pushed B, he's going to now start to thread the needle behind as well and try to make problems for these defenders in spawn.
Spike planted.
The attackers now need to realize that there are definitely players coming in from behind, but they're able to clear everything out. Art has been spotted. They know the 2 avenues in which they're being pushed, but the timing might not go their way. Crystal already managing to clear out 1, and they are just on that defusal already to half. The next time it's tapped might be their undoing. They're just defusing it in front of their nose. They need to get in there, and they're
What?
It's an immediate defusal and a bit of a blow.
What am I seeing? How? Leviathan, you got the entire site, the entire control of even to aim it. Oh my god.
GE's pace caught them off guard, flooding straight back in. Crystal finding 2 that quickly, got rid of the players who were supposed to stop them from getting near that spike, and then everyone else is
I'm
too
not
far away
understanding
from the
what
play.
this is, but what am I
It's a
seeing
disaster
right
for
now?
Leviathan.
Leviathan, you are losing your place as the American second seed.
The climb back steep and near impossible if GE keep this up. Double digits found. An aggression again coming in from the defensive side, this time running into all
What?
of the Leviathan players for 1.
I'm sorry.
It's a bloodbath with
I'm sorry.
on GE's side.
Oh, they've got to be over the moon. But a lot of the time we'll talk about the risks of pushing, but you could just see the confidence that this team is playing with. Spike
King
under their control, and wow.
Behind secretly. Oh no,
The best
that's
case
smooth.
with King as he drops a gun. Well, that's the absolute best case, but they are now starting.
There's also flawless right there.
One of the worst case, because now you have a flawless round and you have a
We
back
got
into the next
it.
one for Autumn, who's also been having a fantastic series.
Will any player get
he's someone I'm
15
very happy
catch
to
kills
see
in
back
this
from the
next round?
stage.
Let me
I remember
see.
him in FPX being one of my favorite players to watch on that squad. Moving over to GE seemed like a wonderful pickup, and it has been.
Yes.
It's fair to say.
Let me
again,
actually
taking into
no.
consideration of how close that final was for Leviathan over in Americas. Them coming in here.
Let's analyze why no. Leviathan already knows on how GE is gonna play aggressively. So look at their adjustments. They are rushing the entire side. The GE cannot push it out unless that one people inside, which is Savage right now, can kill or could take all of them in B main. Then that will get a 3k. But what would be happening and what I would be expecting is that they would play slower but rush in moments. So that would be all in one side, and then they won't catch it one by one. That's why they won't get a 3k. For Leviathan, since they are playing slow and quick pace, slow and catch the timing and quick pace, they would not expect much kills, because when you all rush into one side, you will have to face different gun lines from maybe A main, A short, mid. So they have to take it one by one. Crystal, look at what I said. Look at what I said. They are currently scattering in mid. They're waiting for that one single time for them to push.
Finds one, but now he's surrounded.
Just watch how they would push B side.
Yudatan has managed
Neon.
to move to the back of the side.
I don't think Savage knows where Neon is. And yet because Savage knows.
And they clear Yudatan at the same time. Solid work from
So
Leviathan.
I told you, if GE continues to push, how is
Saving the
this?
gun, Patman a little bit low.
If
when it comes to the
GE
credits.
knows, I mean Leviathan knows on how GE would play, so they would
wasting it versus 3.
normally they would have some adjustments into the game.
I think the realization is in this case, it's not worth the gamble.
It's for the greater good, absolutely. Autumn going to save means Leviathan push up to 4. And this has to be the start of something special to put that win back in their sails. You know, the funny thing is for GE, we say like they've had the right read, they've been in the right place, both halves played excellently. But for Leviathan here, they throw the fake in and still end up running into numbers. So GE still get those rotates to be in time, still fight them in mid. It's really impressive seeing GE's understanding of what their opponents are aiming to do.
It's round 16 half of 1v3.
I think the one layer that was nice was having that extra push through from Neon, like just from behind. I think if they all go in the other direction through mid, there's a very good chance they end up losing
I'll take
that
it
round.
as a
But
yes.
that backstab onto Harvey also just put Yudatan in a really awkward position. 11-4. Even just getting a few rounds here for the Americas number 2 might be enough to just build up that confidence a little bit, show some of that flair. I think getting back into the match, I'm going to need quite a few more before I start to believe in that.
How long is this? Round 16.
Without a doubt, the gap is far too big. Even a lucky round can push GE
Okay,
across
let's
the line. with
analyze
least
my prediction. Why would there be a 1v3?
like Lev.
Okay, so when we look on how Leviathan would push, they are really aggressive. Again, they are slowly turning to aggressive on how GE was playing in before the half. So, if they play aggressive, they spread that aggressive, we would be expecting some drops, some kills in mid or in both of the sides, very spread away. Look at what we see in the map. 2 in A main and the others are mid. Look at how spread they are. We will expect some deaths in mid and also in A main. So 1v3, we could be seeing somehow if we see more deaths, more kills, more spreader, more wider standings from GE, I mean from Leviathan.
All the way back around the map, and it's that deep position that's being held by Yudatan, which could be a problem if they do. The pick from Neon, though, makes things interesting. 30 seconds left. They are committed to this A site now. And with no rotation seen, that will mean that GE can gamble 3 players here as well.
They've got to go soon. There's a good chance someone's already pushing behind them in A main. Straight into A is the only way for Leviathan. Try to force this out of the hands of their opponents. Crystal does very well. It's a triple for Crystal.
It's a 1v2, not a 1v3 though.
On the other side of the map, Yudoton has a
Can
chance.
Blues do this?
Blows with the perfect reposition. Hasn't been spotted.
Ah, no.
But will be dropped. Neon versus Neon, I suppose.
It's Udotan versus
taps the spike.
Udotan, Neon versus Neon.
Ah! Lands a shot, leaves him on a sliver. But Neon's still alive.
Can Neon do this?
Still
No, Udotan still takes it down. Neon is the one who is better.
No mercy. 12-4.
We're not supposed to score this.
Yudotan, the whole
actually.
game, I have to change it to Himdotan. Like, the guy has just taken over. Like, he's been the entry for the majority of the game. We've seen him play impressively, but then just a reaction shot, and then the fact is, Neon in that moment TP'd away. He hit him in the 140. Like, the headshot was so fast that even the TP wasn't quick enough to get away from it. This is one of the best looks
Oh, someone did. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm correct. I was right.
from Global Esports. A team that had a curse against them about making it to a playoffs. Now on the international stage, wow.
There was a no. Alright.
Beginning to look like maybe favourites to make it to the playoffs in London. They have been so impressive. And a pace change coming through.
Look at how quick they rush into the site.
Strategy, and just look at the defense. They are on the complete wrong side of the map. You've said it. They've had the good read almost every time, Mitch.
They're playing it more passive. No. This is an issue. Lockdown gone. And aggression from Leviathan punishes what should have been the flood on the back of it. But Autumn has found another. Crystal once again shows up. And GE, they continue their push towards the site. Their push towards a 1-0 advantage. Shock darts could do a lot here. Javi so low, but they've made it to the spike, and now the tap comes in. Leviathan having to swing in under pressure. King finds one, but they don't have their defuse.
No! Congratulates GE, the underestimated one, the one who everyone thought would never win against Leviathan. Do not ever underestimate Region Pacific. Let us wait for Game 2. GE versus Leviathan. See you all next month.
Oy, oy, oy. Oy, oy, oy. Oy, oy, oy. Hey, I never lose clutch, but la 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 la. Come on, boys.
Tired of off-season blues once Champs is over? Fear not, because Valorant is coming to the Esports Nations Cup, where players split from their clubs and compete for national pride. Will EMEA turn every round into a chess match? Is Brazil about to turn every map into ranked? Will Team USA ego peak every single angle? The final event of the year is not to be missed. Esports Nations Cup 2026. See you in November.
Running like a runner, didn't move that late. Running like a runner, didn't move that late. Running like a runner, didn't.
An impeccable game from Global Esports. Frost, I know you don't really hand out compliments easily, but you've got to be generous with positive energy and compliments. After what happened on that map, I feel like you guys are playing your best this year. Just, yeah, look at your performance here on big stage. So tell me about what went well on Pro.
I think a lot went well. I think Crystal did exactly what I expected him to do today. I actually really thought he was going to have the game of his life, because not only has he been clutching everything, he's just been playing so intelligently. He really helped us this game. I think Autumn stepped up big time. I think Platoon had a couple defaults which worked so well, which I was very surprised that they were confused by. But overall, I am pretty happy. The series really hasn't started yet, though. Their map pick is up next, right? So, yeah.
So you have a trick or two up your sleeve.
Oh, we
Refractor? Okay, okay. I'm gonna let you go, but thank you.
Welcome back. What a map one. GE is so fighting today. What a win there. And you could hear Frost give a lot of credit, a lot of kudos to Crystal, which is absolutely fantastic. Crystal has been part of the squad, obviously, throughout the year, but we haven't been able to give him his flowers over in Pacific, and it looks like he was also saving it for the London stage.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of players on GE today that seem to step up, and I was a bit surprised. Like we said that Lev was supposed to be the firepower team. If you removed the names today, it looked like GE were the ones firing.
Yeah, it was really nice to watch, and I think as you kind of mentioned there, Crystal coming out on top, 350 ACS on the Killjoy, that is absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, and then on the left side, we see a lot of players there, like low down on that scoreboard. Those are a lot of players that you expect to just be shooting no matter what, even if some of the strategy might be behind. Even if GE are looking confident on this map, I thought there was many instances where it really didn't look good. And here was one of those things. Neon, time and time again, getting no value out of this chamber. I think that Frost was alluding to a Platoon default. Maybe it was about that Phoenix wall at the top long B that we just saw, and Neon didn't get a single shot off in a lot of these rounds. I think later on, maybe he got a round or two, but the fact that GE were able to deal with him so well, and then sometimes it was just him just whiffing. Like here, we see him, he's going to go for a jump up and missing a shot that I would usually expect a player like him to hit.
Yeah, I think especially because this was the guy that we were hyping up coming into this game. We bidded him as potentially being one of those rookies of the year, and I think maybe the pressure, the nerves of the stage getting to you a little bit, I think is one of those things, but your chamber can't really just be conceding that space
yeah, and
so
on the flip
easily.
side, like GE just look really confident. Like I think there is a big mismatch in the confidence levels right now. We could put that down to the map a little bit, like GE are much more comfortable on this map, but it does feel like it's an overall thing right now.
Now, GE is new to this global stage, but a lot of the players, in a way, have a lot of experience. Maybe not global experience, but some of these members have been to other regions. They've been in the circuit for a really long time. Then you have Lev. They're really young, and I think that can work for you or against you, depending on what kind of pressure that you end up putting on yourself?
Well, we saw it with Foot in the first game, right? 4 rookies on their team, and they were able to come out swinging. And I do agree, it definitely does put a lot of pressure. But when you look at the actual foundation of this Lev roster, when we think about King and Honor, the experience that they have together, obviously Honor coming back into this Lev roster as well, and just being able to nurture the talent that they have, I think if anything, you need to get up onto that stage and have a kind of fearless approach to the game.
Yeah, and I think Fracture is where we need to see that. A map where there might be some question marks, but how they bounce back right now is going to determine this tournament for me.
I also want to give a shout to Udotan. You know, I was talking about this team being a group of misfits, a group of rejects, and that's because Udotan, he's one of those Korean players that no Korean org has been picking up, and all of us have been scratching our head why, because he's so talented, and he really showed up for the team as well today.
Yeah, I think he really passes the eye test. Maybe sometimes the stats don't quite show it, but when I was talking about him, when I was looking at him, he was definitely doing his job very well, and today it feels like he has plenty of room to improve, and he was showing that on the server.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you were saying, it's kind of curious. We're seeing a lot of the firepower coming from that team. But I'm very curious also what Lev has to say as we send it back to the stage with Coach Owner.
Owner, I don't think what happened on Pearl was your norm. So what was going on, and what were you guys able to address before heading into Fracture?
To be honest, it happened a lot of times in the stage 1 and also in playoff. That the first map we start like very nervous, very tense, and we couldn't show our best play style. But I think that the boys are like getting experience as they play. So this is our first time here. Of course that something like this can happen, but it's not the end of the war. We know that if we play our game, we can overcome. So I'm confident that we can win 2-1.
Okay, thank you so much, and good luck with that 2-1.
Well, the words from the man himself. Minnie, you know Owner pretty well. How do you read that?
Yeah, I think he has a pretty gentle approach. And, you know, at times he can get very emotive, but I think he knows how to work with these young players. It's not about necessarily shouting at them so much, just acknowledging the fact that that was pretty bad. Let's just go to the next map and try and do our best, and then hopefully side talk to King there and just ask him to start pumping up the boys a little bit.
Yeah, you really need your experienced player to kind of lead the charge there, and King can't forget that. As we head into Fracture, Frost was, you know, being a little humble. He was like, look, we haven't won yet, Billy.
Yeah, I think that I'm excited though based on what he said in that coach interview. I think the fact that he was like the best is yet to come. The series hasn't really started because of course we are going to Lev's map pick now, and we kind of set this global esports up as that anti-strat team and how they're going to be able to do that against a team like Lev that are such a set strat team and how they play into one another. So yeah, I'm excited to see what he has cooking.
Yeah, Fracture is going to be pretty messy in my opinion. Again, we've set this up as the map of the tournament where teams aren't quite comfortable yet, and I would argue that both these teams don't look super comfortable. If the map goes to 3, I would start to favor Lev once again, but on Fracture I have no idea what to expect.
Yeah, that is definitely the big question mark. We haven't seen enough from either of these squads on this map, and I can see why you've put none of the Swiss teams on your Fracture map pick yet.
Huge comp changes it looks like so far. Global going with Waylay Phoenix Chamber, almost giving Lev a little bit of a taste of their own medicine. I love that style. I hope that Lev go for the set. Nope, they don't.
Nope, they don't. What is King hovering actually? We can't quite see it yet. I think he was playing the breach though previously, so hopefully that's it's gonna be on the guys. We got your favorite Vct London, Minnie. How do you feel?
I wish Lev just played GE's comp right here. Neon is one of the best chambers of the event. They clearly understand how to do it on Ascent. Like Pearl, it didn't look amazing there. Breach. Get this agent out of the game. It's not very good in my opinion. I think it's going to be quite easy for... I think Global Esports with this composition, I think they have the advantage here fully. As long as they're not walking into these breach stuns, I think they're going to be hugely favored, and I'm very curious about this chamber.
Yeah, and Lev obviously sticking with the same composition that they were running back in America, so I just know for sure Frost is saying in that...
Yes, one, welcome you back to GE versus Leviton, map 2 of Valorant Masters London.
Okay.
Not anymore.
I was about to say Toronto.
I think we both had
so now map 2.
I had Lev as the
predictions.
For me
I don't think there were
coming
different
into this
predictions.
event.
Am I correct? Oh, there was.
It is just a bit of first game nerves that they're
Who
experiencing.
would
going
reach
up on that
5
stage
kills
when we
first in
consider
this map?
the new players
Neon
that
or
have
Crystal?
So yeah, let's hope that they can be able to bring it back to at least go to a third map. I want to see
Neon
a
or
third
Crystal?
map series.
I would love to see a third map, but I think GE is fighting. What do you think, Tom and Mitch?
I think Neon.
Oh, they weren't fighting.
You will hear her rifle. Yes, there would be. With this map close, no.
Taken, and some with ease. But for GE,
Actually, closer, maybe no.
Now they have to
Yes.
convert Fracture, their opponent's mapping,
So-
and you heard it from Owner. The boys were a bit nervous. It's a young team down on that stage.
Predictions are
But
close.
we've seen these
Analysts will be
flip-flops
on
of
later.
one-sided maps.
On if I had
Great
any
success in
corrects
the
or
next.
wrongs.
The defensive Fracture is
What
where
is
the attack
this?
will be tested.
I don't know what
I
they
just
expected
realized
coming
the
in. I don't know if
roster
they
whiteness,
expected
Batman and Waylay.
I'm excited to see it. Never mind, it's gone. Immediately, Sato has picked him out of the sky.
Batman and Waylay, what
They're gonna
is
go running
Frost
back, but they got
trying to
locked in.
give?
Spike Zine is watching from behind. Sato already with a much better start to this map than
So
what we saw
who
on
is
the
Crystal
last.
playing? Crystal is playing Fade.
This
What?
attack side having to run
Ah.
all the way back, maybe trying to bait them into the hands of Autumn, who's just holding on to this space. Nothing being spotted. But that backstab would need to be incredibly impressive if it ends up as a backstab. Is he going to spot out that there's no one here and they're going to go back and plant on A?
I think that's exactly what was happening. They left him behind so he could hear the rotates if they started to flee the site. The spike will go back in that direction. This was what worked for GE on the last map. They were selling fakes so well,
Sato's
always
watching.
enticing Leviathan in. Crystal's chance to strike. He had such
Oh,
an
he is
impressive
so
map
low.
previously.
Oh, but
They'll
Crystal
at least
did get
out of this.
one.
Good stun to shut him down, but a plant and a 2v4, it's better than it looked like it would be.
It's still incredibly difficult. Lev decided to just group up, play it together. The stun catches Harvey, but he will be better. Will be good to go. As they look to try and round this corner, will they check these more deep angles? They will, and it's Sato once
Did
again.
the
A
angle.
great round from
Now
him
it is
individually, and
Autumn.
now Autumn has to try and take over versus 4 players. Good flash! It caught almost everybody,
Oh.
but 13 health. Time ticking against him. And eventually he's going to need to swing out and get one of these kills. He gets
No.
absolutely nothing. A pistol round from Sato, even going to get the orb. And that will be Lev. 101.
Yeah, that will be Lev in the lead for the first time in this series. And what a way to do it as well for Sato, picking up a 4K focus there, very much on Patman, playing that Waylay. A bit of a surprise element, certainly for
100%.
Leviathan. But the Waylay on the other side is the one opening up this map. A strong start to the defense for Leviathan. They get sold a fake, but react perfectly, punish on that side of the map. And the opening picks were sublime. Now, they get their reward. It's going to be a decent buy-in to this round. You know, for GE, win condition, or, well, not even win condition, but success condition, is just a couple of kills. It will make it somewhat costly for Leviathan if they can meet that goal. But as you can see, they're not very well armed.
I think the other side of it for G is just orb collection.
Yeah, with a Phoenix always.
I'm going to try and get as many of
Until
them
now,
as
I
we
still
can.
don't
They
understand the
initially
roster of
challenging
Leviathan
for
on
A-main
I mean
control.
on
You can see the
GE
defenders are doing
on
exactly
why
the
they
same
decided to let Patman play
Be it to build up their own
Waylay.
ultimates, with
I know
Sato
Patman
only
is
being one
a
away after he
flea
claims this
or
orb.
a role play where he
Or
could
just to make sure
really
that you
take
said,
any
don't
roles,
allow
but
that Phoenix to build
choosing
up anywhere near as
Patman
much.
for Waylay instead
though,
of maybe Saviat
tentative in
or
their play.
Crystal.
Everybody's gained at least a little, but the fights will seem quite one-sided when they come to blows.
Well, if you're at least trading out those
Choosing
orbs,
Patman
finding them
over
early, that's
Crystal
fine.
or
GE,
Saviat
as you
is,
said, steps closer.
I don't think the best
for the
choice.
Phoenix ult, but this
for GE.
is where
Patman
things
did
should
get
take a turn
one.
for the worse for GE. They've had good impact to start the round. They've got their orbs. They've even
See
got
how
a kill.
slow
Plans being
the
attempted
entire
to push back by
momentum
Salvo.
for GE
Sight taken
became
in.
when
It's
Patman
definitely a bit
plays
spooky.
Julius?
But the Leviathan have the upper hand in almost every fight.
Where did
And now they've
Patman
got the
die?
numbers.
Yeah, they cleared the top
What?
site, and then anybody trying to claim any weaponry
Why is
is
it
being
Autumn
picked off
again?
as they go. Another
Nice.
1v4 being attempted, and it will not come through.
Oh, stand up,
Great
Neon.
start this time from Leviathan. And I think it is very important. Like, sure, it can happen. You're on your opponent's map choice, but we looked at this map of Fracture and went, this is not one of your greatest picks. It feels like you picked it as a counter to your opponents because they were not good on it either. But with the start that they've had, now we get into the main part of the match. The first purchase coming up for GE. and what will still be a pretty decent buy coming up for Leviathan, given the circumstances.
Well, yeah, 4 players carrying those weapons through. I think they only lost the Stinger. Gonna be pretty happy with that on the defensive side. Coming through with a convergence path as well with that strong start. Orb was given over to King, so obviously some value put towards that Rolling Thunder in the minds of Leviathan, and you can see early aggression is already lined up. They popped the flash, and that's not even going to deter them as the reveal went up behind it. Leviathan keep pushing. It's a full Southside crunch.
Nice. To
start the
with a really quick rush.
And they get
Crystal,
out
he jumped one, killed
one on the other side, though.
What?
So Leviathan will be forced back in a 4v2. A nice attempt to make use of those weaker weapons, but GE seemed more than ready for that pressure.
It seemed like maybe they thought the convergence part of it had hit more people. I think it maybe only caught the one, or by the time they got there, it worn off.
That one,
it meant that there were spams going through those smokes. And
I don't know who is the one. I don't know who is their IGL, but I know
the previous
it sucks.
map was thrive under the pressure of what is an aggressive defense. Of course, this round expectations still low. They didn't have the Vandals, they didn't have the Phantoms, no Operator just yet. The question becomes, how much damage can the remaining couple of players do? And I wonder if this will just become trying to catch them on the exit.
Yeah, that is probably where the most value sits. As time takes on, it becomes more apparent, and that is the play. Ollie towards main. I like this idea, keeping them locked in. Leon wants to make this as costly as possible, but as they run in through it, he gets a shot on them. And Crystal already falling. Decent bit of damage done. I think that is going to be where it ends. Holding on to the Guardian, I mean, obviously an option for King. But he's going to keep pushing to look for that extra kill, and in the end, well, I suppose he gets an orb.
Yeah, maybe having the additional value into
so let's say
his own ultimate versus the ones on the other side. I guess as well, when you look and there's already the Nightfall and the run it back online, you're going to go, okay, it doesn't really matter if I go down.
Leviathan, they choose on what GE did last round.
Yudatan is yet to get onto the
Who
board.
got a 5 kill? Sato got 5 kill.
Neither of those ultimates
I don't remember me picking
particularly
Neon,
close.
But whatever.
This is where we see that first fall by.
Why it
Can
was
Leviathan start
the
strong
striker
as their
getting good.
opponents
When we
did on the
see
last
the
map?
defense of Leviathan, it was
RG gonna be
really
climbing
close on what
back
GE
level
had.
again.
Keep in mind the run back is online for GE.
Would
Thanks to
push
farming
the
those
front
orbs
side
early
a
on.
lot.
Starting to
Look at
slow
where
them
they
down.
are
In fact,
standing.
it's
They
gonna
are
be
playing
pushed
really
by Leviathan.
aggressive. Sato pushing all the way in front, and the spike is killed. But GE Udatan runs all the way from the back.
Dent in this defense.
Samia.
He's taking ground on the other side. He's taking kills, but blows
It's a
answers even
1v3
more.
right now for Samia
Avi
again.
alone
It's a
with
1v3
Green to take down. He has at least got the spike, but he hasn't got a chance.
Able to do it.
That was fantastic. These are the sort of rounds that make you really excited about a team like Lev. The credit obviously has to go to someone like Ono, where they've clearly just practiced these sort of plays. Even when the Nightfall goes through on the other side, they dive over the top of it, stun into the corner as well. Then the salvos come in. Like, that is timing of gods. Like, that's exactly what you want to see from them on this defensive side. This isn't a team that has just picked a weakness of an opponent. This is a team that has preparation in place. And that's always been where this squad has been the most exciting.
Now Lev looking much more comfortable, much more like themselves. In that previous round, especially considering that was the full buy, they had to run it back. It was a big danger for Leviathan to face off against, and they have dealt with it wonderfully. They were behind in the ult economy, but by the time the full buy comes up for GE,
how Leviathan is pushing. They're all the way in their base already, trying to
those
make
dangers of the early half dealt with beautifully. Neon inside the smoke, he shouldn't be pushing just yet. Look at the south side of the map. So many players from the defensive side are flooding in through it, and they'll even have a chance to stop this spike plant if GE were to take, well, yeah, if they're to keep taking this long.
Maybe trying to bait players in.
Bait the salvos.
Instead, maybe planning a switch up through the spawn, but the problem is that flank has now come through. They're making the realization of, okay, we need to take some ground, and that forces their hand in towards King, who's just been waiting. That's what he's been doing the entirety of the round, just sitting there. And this is perfection from Lev. They slowly surround them. GE takes just that little bit too long to get the spike plant down. And they're going to come out of this one squeaky clean.
Yeah, I think that's something GE weren't expecting to have such a heavy flank behind them that quickly. You can see they were trying to bait the salvos out, thinking that there would be a retake attempt from Leviathan from the spawn. And also, considering the round that just happened, They primed themselves for an attack, got dumpstered by utility ultimates and
honest,
full-on
I would be
aggression.
expecting
Of course,
a
they expected
map
the
three
faster
when the
retake,
game
but
is already,
delaying that time and running the clock down
together,
just allowed
like
that
what
flank to
we
come all the way
seeing
through.
right
So far,
now
it
on
very much
left
feels
side
like the
is
shoe
one
on the
who's
other
actually
foot.
dominating
In the
the
last
entire
map,
match.
GE, they played the map better, but now it's Leviathan's turn.
And into our coin-based win condition. I think the thing that we sort of talked about with this Leviathan squad is it's the team that has the setup versus the team that has the counter. It doesn't look right now like GE have the counter. They've swapped out their composition a lot. They've even put players onto uncharacteristic roles. Of course, Patman's normally someone that we see on like the initiator or controller. Like that's where he's been kind of flexing over the last few months. They put him into this, and so far it hasn't looked great, but I feel like that's because Lev have had a lot of really cool trap plays. And at least with against the low buy, they weren't taking too much in terms of risks. They were surrounding them, they were very patient, and it seems like even though maybe Mini doesn't like the Agent King is on, King's reads have been very, very good.
Absolutely. So far, GE being outclassed, the game plan's been working, but now they've taken a moment to chat with Frost, and it looked like he was in Rap God mode there. Certainly a lot of notes to hand out, but can they apply them? Can they now start to chip away at that lead Leviathan have claimed? Their first time in the lead in the series, and they're not looking to let go of it.
Oh, early stun. I love this north side crunch, and they're doing it again from either side. Rolling Thunder even sent through in towards that spawn area. Spike Scene pushing down. You can see they're just trying to survive, and the salvos again are causing so many issues. Unoton just wants to hold on, and he's done very well. From that position, the issue, though, is he was in control of the spike.
Yeah, that's going to be a big problem. You take a look at Autumn right now towards the B site. Maybe he has a chance to run it back, but no one to defend him. It would likely be a death sentence. On Dish, well, you're going to have to walk into the op of Sado, which is not going to be a fun fight to take for anybody. The Cosmic Divide, this is where it starts. I do think we're going to see that run it back put into play, but they're already a man down, and in fact, no chance to pop that ult. Neon's ahead of the fight, and Javi might even be forced into a save at this point. The credit's not looking good across the board. Carrying this rifle forward isn't exactly going to help that much, but well, it's probably better than throwing it away.
Again, I'd have to just give plaudits over to Leviathan and their sort of crunch plays towards that north side of the map. It seems like even from the two players that were there, they knew it was coming. They knew that that would be a possibility. And I wonder if there will have to be the switch up from G to almost have a bit of pack mentality, or even just be patient a little bit further back in the first few seconds of the round. The problem, though, is you look at where those players died. They are so far into their own spawn area that you almost feel like, well, they were left with nowhere to stand, and it's those reactive salvos coming out from blows going like, okay, there's players here, we know where they are, let's force them into awkward positions. Communication needing to be on point, but also just those set plays out from Lev working once again.
You know, one of the reasons that I was happy to see him try to save that in Javi's front was because they were one away from the orbital strike, but Neon's gone and found an orb in the meantime. There's plenty of them on offer here.
One enemy remaining.
And ends up orbital strike online for the next. This is a big advantage for Leviathan in scoreline and ult economy. And so far, it feels like they're miles ahead in terms of controlling the map. And even after the pause, nothing to write home about for G. The same problem there, the crunches from Leviathan working well. You said the north side crunch, it's where they've been more impressive, but they've been very proactive, even on that south side. Every round, it feels like they have space that they need to take a mission objective. And so far, G cannot deny those objectives. Yeah, Patman's gonna have to drop out of there.
That's only a small amount of damage.
It's teammate.
Thankfully, yeah.
Teammate Molly, so.
Teammate.
Spike planted.
Utility causing him a couple of issues. Of course, look at the weaponry, but
You want to play? Let's
there
play.
it is. Tour de Force activated. They've realized that there is an opportunity for them to take this one away.
Oh my goodness, blink and you miss it. It's the Tour de Force with two. But the Pistols certainly not slacking in this round either, but another for Unitime to seal it in. A thrifty win for 5-2. That's not the round I thought GE would come out with.
Yeah, MasterCard Thrifty that will give them a huge boost. Because that was the thing. This was just one of those opportunities where you see that site almost gifted over to them. They managed to avoid a lot of that early aggression, and when they get into the post bar, you have Yudoton with that free operator in hand. Those are the moments that we saw from him all the way through. The first map, a confidence booster, and seemingly part of the plan once again. But of course, the opponents are going to adapt to this early salvos, operator posted up. Even having some support in the close corner as well from Spikesy, and he can stun them if they get that little bit too close. But for now, not giving away their hand.
Yeah, when you've got Sato baiting like this, first shot fired, when he falls back, they should fill that space in quickly. Going through the smoke, though, that doesn't work for the bait play. Instead, Spikesy has to take the fight in the open.
Why is it so
Maybe a little bit of impatience
dramatic?
there for Leviathan, and well, the punish is massive, faking out that A side as well. This is what we said in the last map worked so often.
Fall and
put pressure on
the
one side of the map,
consequences,
enticed
the
Leviathan
loss
in,
was
and then took the open site.
for Left
Just happened
Shango for
again,
that
even that
rush.
volley, it's going to come in too late.
That money is great.
Neon's in a lot of
I'm not
trouble
joking.
with so
But
many
what?
players there to
Even with
fight.
that money, you're not
I feel
able
like he never
to.
stood
But
a
Bills
chance to
did get
step right in
one.
for the same battle.
The 3 in the site, it's a 3, it's a 2v4. I believe, nah,
credits are also
Left
not in the
Left
greatest of
is
positions,
saving, the credits is a bit
Neon
too
not being
low.
able to find
Saving a rifle,
picks.
saving a couple rifles
You have
could
to try
really
and give
help
this
them
one up.
fix their economies.
Look at
Maybe
resurgence
slowly, but
from the
still
side of
works
G over the
somehow.
last couple of rounds.
I
It was
believe
looking
GE
like
has already
maybe we get the
realized
same
the
as the
fact
last
that
where
they
they
are
just get
saving.
blitzed out of the map. But pause
I'm
comes
just
in.
not 100%
The
sure that
operator
if
as
they
well
would
for
rush it or
Yudotan
not.
has definitely been a difference maker, but also just pushing that South A side of the map has been far more victorious, and the risks being taken. You can understand it. They've been so confident in how they've played in the last few rounds. That's why Leviathan forced that issue, but then it really does put Spikesy in a spot where he kind of has to go ham there or they lose the round.
I don't even hate the walk through the smoke because he didn't know they were there, and what's been working for Leviathan, their win condition has been taking that space. As we said, start a round, they say, we're going to fight here. And they fight for that control no matter what. So this time there's a bait, nobody steps into the bait, and eventually you'd think, okay, well, let's get our early flank going. And worst case, I pop one and get back out, but instead, the round crumbles as a result. And that's a good adaptation from G to play that much more patiently on this attack side, wait for Leviathan to make the mistake, because so far they have given you fights. This time GE take them on favorable.
Look at how aggressive!
Going to be this push
Look at the
into the operator.
and Spikesy down. Batman rushes in also to the front side, was able to get 2 informations that there are 2 front sides, but Leviathan takes it back. We look on how the analysis. Leviathan is rushing, is pushing so
I say easy. He was full blind.
aggressive.
Hit the shot, but
Nightfall.
easy for him. Stun will force them back. Nightfall, and Patman has gone down in response. They have the ult ready to try and trap them, but they've avoided it.
Well, this is a much slower turn back to the other direction, though, from GE. Might start to think that, yes, this worked before, right? Going to the A site. Look where the spike is. It might not be what's happening. But they've done this. They've faked one side, then pushed up the other. This time, Prowler goes towards A. Leviathan think that the play has switched up, but they find out that it hasn't now.
We're putting both sides here. We not understand on where GE is rushing. And look at the map. Leviathan has already rotated back to B, but they are pushing A. But we could see that Neon is rotating back to A, hoping to see some information. What is this doing? I'm not understanding why is there so much happening in one single map, one single match. And the operator for that is incredibly good. I'm
just
not
an over-eager peak.
I haven't
like, you can
seen this
understand
good of operator in Vct in so
where
long.
they're going. You're trying to work
Actually,
out
that
the
was
position
not.
of these players, and every time you get
Yudotan did get
Yudotan is just there waiting. His third operator pick, where somebody has just tried to jiggle the angle, and he hasn't been missing. 12 and 5, by the way, while they are currently still behind in the map. He's been a huge part of this turning around. And for Sato, no choice but to flee and try and save it. And I agree with you. I think that although we talk about the counters, we talk about those plays being made by G, I think Harvey needs to be given a lot of credit here, because I'm sure there's help from players feeding him information, but somebody is having in those mid-rounds to make those calls, and over the last couple of rounds, they have been correct.
He's often been the one walking into that empty space, and what's impressive about it is I can't really recall him getting punished for it that often. His success rate is huge. either in just avoiding the unfavorable fights.
There you go, full blind.
Space after. Yeah, that's certainly an unlucky start, if ever I've seen one. But from there, GE do remarkably well to pull this back together. And it makes me grateful that we changed our setups. Back in the old days, we used to have the coach on the stage as well. I think the only thing I'd hate more than playing against Frost would be having to look up and see Frost across the stage. Just that big smile on his face every time a round like that happens. And it's gotten a timeout from Leviathan. They felt these last couple of rounds were slipping back to Pearl, we're slipping back to GE, having a lot more control than we want them to.
Yeah, and it's difficult as well because, again, like talking up that Coinbase win condition, like they had it at the beginning of this map. They had those sort of aggressive set play rounds that were working out wonderfully. And I think in the last round, they were a little unlucky, or very unlucky. They have the same set play to try and go for that deep B presence, and you get domed by a full blinded guy who is just holding the angle with an operator. So it's a rough one to try and go out of a pause with, because you kind of sit there and go, well, was it the wrong play? No, not really. But Yudoton has been turning this game.
12-5. I mean, his impact has been tangible from the very get-go.
The second he got the op, that was it. That's where things turned around.
But I mean, even on the last map as well, like he's had some crazy rounds, but seeing him run away with it like this for Leviathan's got to be spooky. And that timeout, no doubt. Not necessarily about Yudoton, more about how he's given those opportunities to catch those rotates in the late round, how the map is being pushed and pulled out of their hands. This time, Leviathan start in the spawn. 3 players waiting there. So they can react quite quickly to this more direct play from GE.
It was a change side, it was a timeout. My bad.
Closer angles.
Oh my god, look at him, look at him.
Yeah, it's every round. The Harvey is just claiming space. The problem is they're already into the tower, but now realizing how far back they're playing.
Is not rushing this round
Cosmic Divide is just a general irritation. They can get into a post spawn. The backstab is going to be so far behind, by the way, so if they're too slow, Harvey might just kill all of them.
That's the plan. They haven't gone to these flanks before. Map control's always been punished by them going back in the other direction. The 1-for-1 trades, though, good to start. As now another goes their way. Leviathan pick up the pace towards the side.
What is happening?
With a familiar foe. Crystal and
Sato
Yudoton stand in the way.
Yudoton and Sato, the 2 operators.
Yudoton's got the angle, but not the shot. Sato, the one with the pressure, though. He has to move to the side, has to start that defuse. Swaps out for a rifle now in the ult. It's caught him, but he's actually out wide.
He didn't get him.
Dodged it.
Yudoton. I think Yudoton is winning this. You can see the Sato does not have enough time.
The kill as well.
Stand up, Yudoton. I knew what would happen if Yudoton was the last one standing for GE Global
Avoid the
Esports.
fight. Slow him down. You probably at least get it to half. Buy yourself some extra time, and then maybe go in for the kill. Instead, Yudoton, balls of steel, just runs past the ultimate. And he knows he's hitting that shot. Why wouldn't he? Nobody's even close to him on the scoreboard right now. 5-5. From a massive deficit, GE have climbed back to potentially taking the lead, but they've finally killed their demon. And maybe they've angered Sato in the process.
The danger man is down. In fact, a few of them are. Batman and Harvey all that remains. What a great start for Leviathan. The lead may be back in their hands momentarily. And with it being only Sato that gets dropped for his trouble.
Doing a thing.
Leviathan play this nice and safe. Passive on B. Ready to play the retake, knowing the numbers are by their side. That means GE are the ones that have to take a risk. That risk means running into the numbers. Batman's dropped, and now his attempt to make this difficult situation that bit more manageable has left Javi in one that I think we all know the conclusion to. Leviathan have found their 6th and taken back the lead.
It's taken them a while to get there, but that
Don't
almost
leave him hanging. Come on. Come on. Come on now. You can't do this to him. Someone say something. Please.
Have we frozen in time?
Yeah!
There we go.
Let's go!
Maybe the loudest cheer of the day.
I think that one united the crowd.
What a round from Sato, though.
Sato.
That was one where it genuinely felt like they made him angry. Like it needed something to ignite them after 4 rounds lost in a row. But there's still plenty in the purchase. An operator handed over to Patman. Of course, they've got the credits to spend. A tour de force available for Yudotan as well.
It's just too operated.
As if he wasn't already quick enough.
Yudotan's operator was so quick and
this
so
time,
clean,
Sato
to
has
be
looked
honest.
to try and claim B main control instead, on towards their south side.
This is
Do you
it.
think he would get it down?
What won them the last round was the opening shot from the off. The opening
I think they
goes
get
to
one
GE.
down, bro, from Yudotan.
And it will be a battle between these two. I suppose it's fitting. B main control taken by Sato. But Yudotan
Why is
walks
Yudotan
up
all the way there?
behind him. And now it's a patience game, a waiting game. Perhaps the smoke up though allows Yudotan to close that distance that little bit further.
How they rush.
A difficult decision. That shot didn't land. Right past Sato, and now he knows exactly where to look.
Even still,
Spike planted.
post plant available on Patman. Looking to try and get aggressive again.
Yudotan
Sato
tries
to
to
win the
pick it
match
again. Why?
of those operator players. Give them that man advantage. Give them an opportunity to at least go in with a lead after the start they had, but Harvey's having none of it. Already clearing one, but he's stunned up. Trade immediately from Patman.
Patman and Autumn.
As they look to walk in together, the shot's not quite landing though, even
Patman
still.
gets wild. Autumn
Down
gets
to just
back
one.
up.
Blows
Lewis.
making his way to the site, needs to bait someone into a fight.
No,
and Autumn just
Lewis is not
isn't
getting this
giving
one.
anything away. He knows his teammate will swing first, and Patman's still just sitting in
But
the corner.
Patman,
Will go down the
The
span.
flash, he is blinded. There is not enough time anymore. And Autumn did get this one.
Going even at the half. 6-6.
Well, it's a nail biter of a
6-7.
game, but Leviathan not out of the woods just yet. A solid half. Let's see if they can keep it up after the break.
I've got Elizabeth here. She is Patman's auntie. Elizabeth, you're the reason Patman's on that stage. You bought him his first PC.
Yes, yes.
So what's it like watching him do such an incredible job with his team? Because you've been there his entire gaming career.
I actually feel very teary-eyed, and I'm very proud to see him on stage, live and in person.
Is it quite nerve-wracking though?
Yes, but actually my heart rate is like 120 right now, watching him play.
But this man, he's been a world champion. But what's it like seeing him play with global esports?
Well, it's a new team for him, but I think he's done well making it to international again.
He definitely has. And actually, he does you proud in other ways. He's also been an incredible basketball player too.
Yes, he loves basketball.
So, talk to me then about Patman settling into this team.
But
What was your
they're amazing
reaction when
second
he
half.
told you he was joining global esports?
Well, all we can do is like support him, whatever he wanted to do. So when he told us that he's going to global esports, it's fine. It's just giving all the support that he needs.
Well, Elizabeth, I think you being here means so
It will be an
much
autumn
to him.
purchase,
So thank
yeah.
you
There
so
will
much
be
for
an
talking to
autumn.
me.
I believe
Good luck to global esports
GE
and Patman.
is the actually no. It will be an amazing second half. Actually, oh yeah, actually, wait, no. It will be amazing the second half.
They needed much luck in that first
From
map, but
Yudotan,
this half a
maybe,
bit more
but
of a
now
challenge.
I
Leviathan
don't
certainly
know.
woke up, but GE caught up in the end. We are neck and neck
let's
going into the
see.
next half, Tom. Where does your allegiance
It will be
lie?
an ace in the second half.
It's just difficult at this point. And I think
Let's
the fact that
actually,
we at
no,
least
I don't
saw
think
some
so.
life at Leviathan towards the end of the half was a good sign. I think Sato especially is going to be a huge talking point, as we know that setup is going to be around him and Spikezine. The question, though, is going into the defense, can Yudotan keep it up? You'd expect that he's going to have the same opportunities, and with how aggressive this composition can be. But it is a lot to ask, because let's be real, they would not have 6 rounds on the board if he wasn't playing the way he is.
That is very true indeed. And has been a hero performance in the first half, but now we move to the second. They've had time to chat with their coaches, and we've certainly seen the coaches waffling away. Around 13 kicks off with GE on the defensive side, and Leviathan, although they've cleared a lot of space towards B and put a lot of numbers there, will be the A site that is the ultimate target. The wrap back in comes in just as GE flee the B site and put numbers and boots back on the ground here. And then Leviathan go the other direction. Early on, you know, I'd even expect this to be about orbs, but they've not taken any yet.
Well, they're walking into the one man they were probably trying to avoid. Yudotan waiting patiently into media. Spike Zine is gone. Okay, they're going to remove all of his utility, stun him. They're sending everything to try and clear this man out, and they will do so. Look at all the assists that came through onto Yudotan. Hammond, he's trying to be cheeky and he's caught for it.
What is that?
King trades him out. Advantage firmly garnered by King.
30 seconds left.
And now Crystal, 14 HP, 3 to find. All of them healthier than him, but that Sheriff is going to be deadly. Well, to everyone.
Okay, actually, maybe
everyone up until he hits that shot.
I know, no, they're not picking that.
In the end, it's Sato to close. Leviathan reclaim their lead with a pistol.
Not even a single
Just look at
Oh,
Sato
Sato is standing every single round.
I'm sure
see
as
that.
well.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, when you're having a game like
maybe
this, you
even
want
an
to be the one
entire
trying to
team
inject
stand
that
up.
energy into the rest, and no doubt King's
surprising.
feeling pretty happy after this pistol. A little bit of a confidence builder for him and for Leviathan as they find their way back into the lead. Strange attack side there. It looked like they expected some aggression out of GE in that pistol, looking for it on B, going under, walking back to A main, clearing it out. But in the end, they found the easier site to push into and traded out those kills very nicely. 7-6, and a lead in the half should follow. Should get even stronger as they're now up against Classics.
Again, we're going to see the same from Global Esports. They want to try and get as many orbs for Autumn as possible. North side A taken, and on the other side of the map, they've just left Yudotan. He's already hearing the steps, he's already spotted the players. They're going to try and pincer on the remaining orbs. Neon and Sato have done a fantastic job. Now it leaves just one. Spike not going to be planted just yet. Counter flash will leave him completely blind, and in the end, it's actually the fight from Sato that clears him. Orbs collected for the duelist, a few for the other side, and the lead extended for Leviathan.
I guess no.
Yeah, nice work all around. Definitely seemed like a danger when Yudotan was under. Heard 2 players go towards B, because the immediate call there is for those guys in A main to just run it down, start the early flank, take those fights, and they had the numbers, but they didn't have the weaponry. A big round from Sato as well to give them a 7, put him 17-8, now tied up with Yudotan on the scoreboard. But the rounds favoring Leviathan. That may change here, but it's a very strong bonus round for this attacking side. They've got a lot of rifles to work with. And of course, pack mentality prevails even with SMGs at times.
Crystal inspecting Sato.
And they're ready for the player to try and swing out through top. It's going to be Autumn taking the fight with his ultimate. They know important keeping this round clean
Autumn see him, Autumn saw him.
King
sticks it up slowly.
the weaker weapons.
Pac-Man
Unless Blows can get a wonderful timing. Yeah, they're already going to be spotting him.
To speed
He's
it up.
currently completely isolated. In fact, every
Udotan
fight that would be
is
taken by
speeding up.
Leviathan here would be
Yes, Udotan
isolated.
takes
And
him
for
down.
Yudotan, that might be the
Udotan.
easiest kill he's had so far today.
What is that jump you saw someone? I
Leaving it
believe,
down to just
brother.
one. And in the end, Global Esports will comfortably make it through that bonus.
Yeah, considering what they were up against, it's almost comfortably making it through a bye round. It's a very nice one from Global Esports. As we said, for Leviathan, on this attack side, pack mentality can work, but when you lose Spike Scene right away, and Sato coming up through heaven is caught like that, they have early flanks as well. It really exposes a lot of issues with that round, but it also gives you a lot to learn from. They made a more direct play, and GE very quickly closed the walls in on them. Be something they look to exploit, but for now, it looks like, again, pack mentality, 5 in dish, stun set up. We will have a pacey attempt. Whether this is for the orb, I'm not even sure, because with no presence elsewhere on the map, you almost have to play this as a straight-up hit.
Gonna force Harvey back, but it's the rest of the team are still here. There were 4 players on this A side of the map, and that's a problem. They go diving into a stacked-up site. The read again from GE is nigh on perfect. And for the remaining 2, they're trying their best to fight back into the round, but This was an early clear of the south side, and now they go running in towards Neon. Be careful.
At least they know where Neon is currently. I think they would rather the gun lines all the way straight to
the skill scale.
A drop.
He's almost ticking off it. But a 1v5.
Patman is...
Got the spike.
Oh, there is someone behind.
It'd be crazy to believe.
Patman is rotating early.
Down already.
Udotan. Actually, no, he's not rotating. Where is Patman holding? Patman
Big
went
mistakes
up.
would be needed to even
Why
give
is
him
that?
a chance. And you can see right away, look at
Do you
Udotan on the
think
other side of the map.
Udotan
He's
would
fallen
take
back. He'll take an orb.
smaller of a risk to rush it forward?
Set himself up to just catch the
Udotan
info and
is doing
TP
it.
right
Udotan
out.
is-
There is no escape for Neon at this stage. The only way is forward, and with 20 seconds left, if he doesn't decide to move, saving won't really be an option either. Udotan has
乌德塔
boxed
后
him
面
in
确实
complete.
看到了，但没给他收掉。Neon 22个，时间还够吗？时间不够。
A little too long to get that one going, but I'll be honest, I started to get nervous for a second there.
Yeah,
Would it
I
be a
think if it
first
wasn't for having
headshot?
just sat in the
我
site,
盲猜一波。
I would have been sweating for them. But even still, it's a lot of damage.
我感觉他们道具给的还是
How
很
clean
多的，
everything
但
was at the
是
beginning, but this was also
更
just
多还是拼枪法，因为他们两边的道具其实很少，就是依靠伤害性技能这种道具，所以应该是吧。
side of the map, and when Harvey spots everything, and I think they
我
put
唯一一个
Prowler
有
all
就
the way
伤害
through
型
towards
道
the
具
spawn.
的
They go,
只
okay,
有
there's no one on this south side. They have to be on the north.
只有这
Everybody
个这
rotates
谁
it
来着？我
ready.
忘
And
了。
also Udotan is
只
holding
有
north
这
side arcade
个
sees
泰
nothing. It
国
becomes pretty obvious where they may be. The walls closing in
铁
quicker
臂
than
其实也有，但
expected.
他伤害不
On Leviathan in that
不是
previous
很
round,
高
they
的吧？
denied any presence here towards A main by the Molly. And evidently they don't want to fight into it
My ultimate
afterwards.
is not
Again,
ready.
they're on this low buy. The pack mentality's been adopted when it
我们
comes to
现
the
在
bar round,
前期
so
和
you
币啊，
very
我
much
们
expect it
其
to
实
be
能
the
从
case
地图
here.
上看到
GE
，A 人是比较放空的，因为他们只要前啊，他们是有信息的，然后在 B 人这么近的话，他们只能机器全待在后点，这点就很难防啊。
By this push. Down below, a bit of an awkward battle. Oh,
okay.
That's fallen.
This now gets interesting.
Where is
Because a
this one
post-plant
from?
orbital strike is gone. Because Neon's died. That is
Okay,
unfortunate
他没看
timing.
到
King's done
Neon.
well. His ult's only one away, but I don't want to even talk about ults because the last time I did, somebody fell immediately. Weaponry retrieved by King, and okay,
为什么他
on the back
没
of the
看
side
到
with the
吗？
pistol. Now Sato has an ult of his own. It's not going to connect. Crystal waiting on the other side, and they are being picked
就
apart.
这个点其
Losing
实
every
他竟然
single
给他
fight
放
versus
空了，
weaker
就没人
weaponry.
去
And for Udotan, he
很
wants to
坚
try
决
and
去选
save
择
this,
手
but
点里面，而
Spike
是
Team is
不是
chasing
往
him
前，而是
down.
往后退，
Looking
这
to
种
run
手
after
点
that
方式其实是
operator,
很
and he's got to be
很
very
容易被对
careful
面
here.
击破的
There are。multiple
如果你
players
们要
trying
这
to
手
surround
点的
him.
话
They are，baiting
至少要有一个明确的方向，
There
是
will
你
be
们
a
前压还
It gets
是
another round onto the board for Lev.
我他妈投错了，你妈的！
Lev right back in the lead and right back on their feet. That's what you
我操，
like
我
to
投
see.
错了吗？我真操
Great
哎！
round on, and we complimented them on Pearl as well, but the low buys, they always have such a cool idea with it. This one starts full south side. They see the A main aggression, they're pushed back by it and say, okay, all eggs in one basket now. We know they're pushing there. Let's take the fight B main. And that happens to be the lighter side of the map. That happens to be where they can get in and get a plant. And that was already a success in my mind. You now have a plant that they have to push into you. You get a couple of kills, you make it costly, and maybe the butterfly effect comes in by the end of the map. But instead, Leviathan steal a round that they had no right even competing for. And that has gotten a timeout from GE.
Yeah, it's completely wrecked their economy. That was meant to be the round where they start building up those credits.
这样还
For
不
the
简
other
单
side。of things, you can see Sato. You kind of want to call him a superstar in the making because of how young he is, 19-year-old. I think he's just turned 19 as well. But it feels like he's already there. Like having those crazy high-impact rounds and then just being ready to scream, hype up his teammates, hype up the crowd. He has now overtaken Udotan as the kill leader in this map, but he's had Neon alongside him. And I mentioned the potential for ultimates. They have a lot of them building up, but the one thing GE does have coming into this round is the ultimates already built.
Yeah, perhaps that can bridge the gap somewhat. Tour de force put into play right away, but Udotan's walking into Sato and will be shut down. The big gun removed from the round right away. And now For GE, not much more hope remains. Anti-flash on the other side. Some players will be caught, but others won't. The stuns go in right away. Sure, they'll lose one.
Attacker spawn.
But how much more can GE hope for in a fight like that? The spike up for grabs if they could win it, and Patman's thinking about it. He's got a rifle, but the high-low setup on the other side could completely decimate any chance of finding the kill. And now almost every danger has been removed from that defensive arsenal.
He turned around.
Nice, okay.
For a second, it looked like that. Clearly, the spidey senses were tingling. Cool and controlled for Leviathan. Maybe there'll be one kill at least. There you go. They now know where the last man is.
你为什么要全压？
Facing off against him.
你很自信，太自信了，兄弟。
This would be the round that the pause was called for.
太过自信了。
For global esports. We saw in the last half a fight back that brought them level. Of course, we know going into that third and final map, you kind of feel like a lot of those veto advantages start to fade away. I think many, including myself, once we saw Ascent banned out, thought maybe even the split would be picked by the side of Leviathan. So, although it may have started off as a bit of a shaky veto, if we go to map 3, I'd almost start to say they're favored again.
We've seen this approach from Leviathan on the defensive side. Now GE adopted 2 players left towards the spawn. That quick reaction and the play coming towards B. The Rolling Thunder should completely stop them from having any say in this. Chance for the operator to maybe land one, but no, TP taken back, and now control for Leviathan, you would think.
感谢观看，虽然说我知道